All right, so you're looking to buy a Taurus 856 chambered in 38 special. And before you do, you're looking to see what to expect when you open the box. So that is what this video is about, and hopefully help you decide if you're gonna buy it or not. But without much talking, let's do it. First up, you got the Taurus box, always bring it. Once you open that up, you got your owner's manual. It's gonna have a bunch of your caution signs, your gun parts, your specs. See, it breaks down the gun for you and what each part is called, and then your specifications. I will throw those up on the screen later. Let's get that out of the way. A warning hazard, because they're required to give it to you, and a limited lifetime warranty by Taurus. They also give you a lock so you can lock your gun up, as they recommend that you store it. Let's get the box out of the way as well, because this is who we want to see. Now, this gun has been used already by me, in case you're wondering why it looks used and it's out the box, but it's already dirty or there's already wear on it. That's why. It's because it was used by me. I already put 100 rounds through it. So I'm going to give you the basic specs, which I'm going to throw up on the screen, like I said. And then after that, we're going to go from left to right and top down. And that's how we're going to break down the parts on the gun, the individual parts. Like I said, this is a Taurus 856 chambered in 38 special, and it is plus P rated, as are all the 856 models that Taurus makes. The frame material is carbon steel with a matte black finish. So is the barrel. The cylinder is alloy steel, also with a matte black finish. And it is a double single action revolver. It has a barrel length of 2 inches, an overall length of 6.55 inches, an overall width of 1.41 inches, and that's at the cylinder, an overall weight of 22 ounces unloaded, and then an overall height of 4.8 inches. So let's break down the parts of the gun and let's talk about it. Here we have the front sight, and it is a ramped serrated sight. As you can see, it looks like a little staircase right here. It is ramped and it is just black. So when you look down the gun, it's just black on black metal between your rear sight and your front sight. Under that, you have the barrel, and under that, you have your extraction rod or your ejector rod, whatever you want to call it. So if you're not familiar with the difference between mag-fed pistols and revolvers, what this does is eject the shell casings, because in a revolver, the shell casings don't fly out every time a new round is loaded into the chamber. You have to manually do it by pressing this extractor rod. It works really well. It's fairly smooth. You should lube that up every now and then. Check your owner's manual, or just do it whenever you feel like it's getting stuck on you. Let's close it back up and let me show you how to pop the cylinder out. So here you have your cylinder release. You're going to push it forward towards the barrel of the gun, and at the same time you push the cylinder out to the left side of the gun. Okay, the cylinder release is textured, which is really nice, and it prevents some slippage, if that's a word. The cylinder release also is held by this flathead screw. Every now and then you do want to tighten that up, or you want to put Loctite on it. That way, as you shoot it, it doesn't come loose on you. Sometimes it will wiggle up and down. This is not wiggling, this is just like the give that it has. But what I mean is literally this will loosen up, and you can tell the screw is coming loose. Next up, I do want to mention that it is a 6-shot, because it is 1 bullet better than a 5-shot. It is a 6-groove cylinder as well. To the top of the frame and the top of the gun, you do have your rear sight, which is just a notch cut into the top of the gun, and that is your rear sight. That is how you line up your shot. No paint on the rear sight or the front sight. Maybe you can try to do that yourself with some spray paint or some high temperature paint in case it gets too hot, because this gun does get pretty hot. At the bottom, you do have your trigger guard, and you have your trigger. It is a double single action trigger, meaning that when you pull it back, one action sends it back, and the second action sends it flying forward. This is single action, where you cock the hammer back yourself and you pull the trigger, and it only moves in one direction. The trigger feels, I believe it's about a 14-pound trigger when you are in double action, and in single action it is about a 5 or 6 pound trigger, but it feels way lighter than that. That would mainly be because you're already at the break point on the wall, And so all you have to do is basically break that little tension and boom. Whenever I pull the trigger, you see this part of the gun moving. This is going to be the external hammer that you have. The external hammer does have texture to it, which is really nice. It provides a really good amount of grip. I say external because, in case you don't know, there is some internal hammers on revolvers, and basically this part of the gun is blocked up and this hammer is working inside of the frame of the gun. But you can touch it, you can see it moving, which means it is external. Moving towards the bottom right of the gun, here we have the grip, and this is an interesting part of the gun because of how small the grip is, but it still works fairly well. So it is cut out for 2 fingers, and the third finger, which would be your pinky, as you can see, it does have like a little indentation in the grip. So the 2 fit really well, and then the third is supposed to fit on that little groove, and it works. Like, I was surprised as to how well it works. First of all, the texture is really, really nice, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. The rubber that they use is very, very sticky. So like, this is me barely holding any bit of the gun, but again, it doesn't slip. Just very sticky rubber. So you have it textured on the left and the right side with little dots, and then on the back side where your palm and your thumb, this part of your hand I guess, would rest, at the back side of the gun you have lines that go horizontally, and on the left side you do have some vertical lines. You do have a thumb pad for you to place your thumb. I tend to shoot it with my thumb knuckle pointed upwards a little bit more than they probably intended it to, which leads me to my next point that I never saw somebody mention, maybe because they shoot it with their thumb flat down, but I just can't do it like that. It just feels really uneven for me. Whenever I shoot the gun, because it is a 38 special, it's not weak. The gun has a kick, and so when I shoot it, the cylinder release snaps back into my thumb. I'm gonna create a bit of pressure on my thumb just so you guys can see how right there it starts to cut me. I'm talking like bleeding type of cut me. I never saw that in anybody else's video, so I just want to mention that to you guys. That might be something you deal with if you have bigger thumbs, bigger hands. Like I said, look at that. You can see it's red. Again, no big deal. We all have a gun that does that to us, but this is the gun that does it to me. I didn't see anything about that until I shot it. I even made a short about it. Anyways, that is pretty much the basics of the gun. You have your front, your rear sight, your external hammer. You have your cylinder release, your 6-groove cylinder. You have your extraction rod, your trigger guard, your trigger, and your rubber grip, which I really, really like. For the price that it comes at, which is $330, it is definitely a strong contender in the concealed carry 6-shot revolver area, I guess. First of all, it is 38 special, which is a super powerful round, especially coming out of this short little barrel. It's very snappy, very skinny. Aside from the cylinder, which would be the fattest part of the gun, it is a very, very skinny gun. A little bit heavier though, all steel. So, I mean, what do you expect? Again, going back to the price, it works really well. 100 rounds in, not much wear to be expected, but no weak firing pins yet. No other problems except for the part that it bites me. But again, maybe I should change my grip. Maybe I should practice shooting it different ways. But oh well, that's what it is. Just heads up for that. Hopefully this video helped you make up your mind a little bit in case you weren't sure if you wanted to buy it or not. I will have a shooting video where I take it out to the range and I put another couple hundred rounds through it. So stay tuned for that. Also, I will have off-roading videos coming up. Right now my channel is focused on guns. It just kind of happened, but I do want to throw out some other content out there. If you guys have any questions, definitely leave them in the comment section below. The bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guns get. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you guys later. Peace.